Welcome to this special episode of Rules of Villainy, where 3 new trading card game players quest and challenge their way to the competitive top tables and discuss their opinions on Disney Lorcana. I'm Villain Vince, like I didn't know my own name, joined as always by Villain Andy, the mayor of Lorcana, Brad, and villainous Kirsten. How's it going this evening? We're live, y'all. We're live.
Our second live
episode.
We're doing another live.
Buster says he's happy to be live.
Oh, I hear Buster. I'm happy that he's here with us. I'm happy to be here. Last night I was at Magic Kingdom at this time preparing for the fireworks over at the. I saw that face. I'm sorry, Kirsten.
Jealous.
At the ice cream parlor right there. It's our new thing now. Getting that ice cream sandwich and sitting there watching the fireworks. It's such a fun time. Such a great week of Disney. And then I get to cap it off with a night like tonight where we have reveals for the first time.
Amazing. We have what? I mean, not that it's been a huge surprise. If folks have been following along in the Discord or our episodes, we've talked about that we've been one of the reveals. We're amongst a whole cadre of wonderful content creators across the globe out there. I think it's phenomenal. That Disney Lorcana has actually posted in their Discord, and if you're not in their Discord, you should absolutely do so. Go do that. But has posted all the reveals that were going to happen through, I think, the end of tomorrow. And there's also a main stage tomorrow as well on the Disney Lorcana. So please go check that out.
Absolutely wild. I've seen people on Facebook, local friends, who are like, ROV's on the list, congrats guys. And I'm like, it's so surreal. And I'm so, we all are so grateful for this opportunity to do this. And, I was so eager to talk about it. Now I'm blanking on words.
But actually, here's the thing. So, while Andy and I were in the boardroom talking about Villains Land with Bob Iger, we want to know, how was your site visit on the future Villains Land?
There's a lot of paperwork, lots of stuff I had to, I got to keep on the villainous DL, but no, ultimately it was such a fun trip, and I really can't wait for that Villains Land. I don't know much about where it's going or what it's going to be, but I am really looking forward to it.
Wrong lever roller coaster. It's going to be there 100%.
Pull the lever, wrong lever. I will just say, though, Kirsten, are you not excited that we finally got Yzma Cat? We got it!
Yzma Cat. It's so good.
It was glorious waking up and seeing my name tagged to that card. Thank you, Brad. I was like, let's go!
I accidentally tagged Jimmy first. I don't know why, but I felt like Jimmy needed to know too, apparently.
Obviously.
I'm just really excited also that the Aristocats made it into Lorcana. And I will just say, though, I'm a little bummed. I do want to. I have a bone to pick with Ryan Miller and Steve Warner. I want to know why kitten or cat is not a classification.
They have puppy.
That's a good question. Question.
Everybody wants to be a cat.
You have a bone to pick. I have a bone to pick.
That could be a great card.
What's your bone to pick?
Also, where's Oliver?
Everybody knows what my bone to pick is. It's getting even worse as the day. As the days go on. We have Trusty now. We don't have Jock yet. I need to see the Jock card. I'm going to post about it every day until we have it.
Well, my question is, so I know listeners are in anticipation of our reveals, but before we get there, I do have a question. What has been the highlight card that you have all seen thus far?
I honestly have had a hard time keeping up.
Same.
I was in Disney World during the whole reveal season, so
right.
I haven't had a chance to analyze. There's been some really fun.
Says the guy who's been in our Discord every single day.
It's hard being the mayor, man. You got trying to do everything.
I'm tired.
I'm gonna have to say.
Go ahead, Andy.
I was gonna say Toby. I said it on the podcast, but the Toby card is so cute.
That's how Olivia says it. When we had it for our Disney date night. So bad. We just say that all the time. We're weird like that. But I'm excited about the new Dalmatians. I think the blue, yellow, sapphire, amber puppy cards look like a lot of fun. I'd like to tinker with that. I don't know how competitive it'll be, but everybody who listens to us or you guys especially know that I like to play around with fun stuff like that. So hopefully I can make something like that work. There's off the top of my head, I can't think of anything that stands out. Gantu looks good.
Really,
pointed out Gantu.
Heather just mentioned it in the chat too. Mushu, I'm quite excited to try and put that into play because it just looks super fun and the art is gorgeous, and especially the once we learned that obviously the artist who created Mushu to begin with got to create the art of the card. It's just even more exciting, and I'm so glad that he's finally here, and he's actually seemingly a good playable card as well. So I'm very excited to put him in a deck.
Just keeps getting better.
Yeah.
I know.
I am really excited also about the lore cards. I want to know more about the lore of Disney Lorcana. I think Baker, Lorcana Villain, had said on the main stage, like, give us comic books, give us TV shows, give us everything about the lore. I want more Lorcana. Like, I'm excited about the puzzles, don't get me wrong, but the lore of this wonderful place that is the Illuminary and the Lorcana land is exactly what I want. Actually, Lorcana land. Could you imagine 10 years from now, a whole land dedicated to Lorcana land in the park?
Let's make it happen.
I'm gonna be broke. I will just have no money.
Listen. This is a free idea. Hire us. Hire me. We're here all day. But I think folks are ready. Do you?
They're only here for one reason, right?
All right.
Just hang out with us villains. All right, next question that we've got. I'm just kidding.
Mon cher mademoiselle et mon cher monsieur, it is with deepest pride and greatest pleasure that we welcome you tonight. We invite you now to relax, pull up a chair as the villains present your reveals.
We have Tika, Lava Monster. She is an Amethyst, inkable 6-cost character. She is Challenger +2. She has 5 Strength and 6 Willpower, and she quests for 2. And the flavor text is one of my favorites. You want to get to Te Fiti? You have to go through a whole ocean of bad. Not to mention Tika, from Maui, obviously. And the art is by Max Grecke.
And it's really cool that it's by Max Grecke because it is his first card in Lorcana, and I'm a big fan of his because I've been playing Marvel Snap for the last 3 years or 2 years. I don't know how long it's been out. I've been playing it for a long time, and he has so many great variants in that game. And when I saw his name on this card, I was like, heck yes, let's get more of those because I love his work.
Congratulations.
And I like this card
Max.
too. Yeah.
Absolutely.
The art is super awesome. And the flavor text is actually the very next line of the movie. There is the silver to cause that we had from first set. It's that flavor text that says, have you ever fought have
you ever defeated a lava monster?
Yeah, and Moana says, no, have you? So it's a
Such a
fun
cheeky
little
line.
scene. I love when like the cards line up and stuff, but this card is kind of a big card. First thing off the bat is, if I get this in my pack during sealed event on opening night, ooh, this is nice. This is nice. This is something I'm going for sure.
Absolutely. I think this is a draftable and sealed card without question.
For sure. She is a location killer.
Yeah. Like
or
basically
location banisher. Sorry.
One shot too. Kind of actually thematic when you think about, how the lore in the film of what Taka is, and so how that it is destroying kind of these lands and stuff. So it has a really kind of thematic approach that I like to it.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and Thomas Rowe brought up in the chat that it's a better Scar, which one I take offense to because Scar is my favorite. But no, there is a 6-cost Amethyst Scar that is uninkable. He does also hit for 7. He's a 4/4 +3 challenger with Rush, but he is uninkable. So the 6-cost inkable slot, I think, really fits. You're still hitting for the same amount. You can't rush on that turn, but she's a lot to deal with. She's probably going to swing for 7 for at least one turn, or at least somebody running into her. Well, I guess she'd have to be exerted to run into her, but. What I really like about her as well is people were debating when this card was revealed in the past week. There's a Floodborn Takad that's coming around, and people were wondering, what's a good shift target for this card? And I think this might be a good 6/7 combo in a Ruby Amethyst deck in the future. Because I think she's Ruby Amethyst, right? The dual link one that's kind of floating around like that.
So
yeah,
we
12/12.
We could see some, synergy there with that shift line target. And that, I mean, I will say that even though that card hasn't been like fully revealed yet, the shift target that we're all talking about, the 12/12, beautiful art. Definitely, yes. I think top of the line for Enchanted in my book. For
absolutely.
Or this one. This could be an Enchanted too. Just saying. You never know.
It is very, really very pretty art.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I think, some of these cards, it's always hard to determine, is this going to be a meta staple card when you're kind of viewing it early on. And it's like right now, I think I would say no. Like, this is a card I definitely think I would expect to see in the limited formats, but in deck building, not yet. But that isn't to say it won't find its place. We find that cards, few sets later on, find their home in decks. And like you said, there are cards always, if locations become a big deal, this is a card you might think to slot in for locations, especially if you end up deciding you're going to run a 1 of or 2 of that bigger Taka. But then again, there's always the flip side. There's that Moana character that banishes Taka on entry. And so
if you play too many of these, then the opponent just texts that in.
Yeah, does that card come back into the meta? So there's a lot of kind of push and pull. What's up?
Come back. I don't think it was ever in the meta. Does it finally see
that might change though?
Yeah, does it see the light of day? Would be the answer.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think in today's meta, in the highly competitive meta with however many cards we have now, at this point it's about to be almost 2,000, almost 1,500 cards, I guess. It is really hard for a card to get a slot in a list without having some sort of ETB effect or some really strong value afterwards. And so, swinging for 7 is definitely not something to turn away from. It's definitely a great ability, and questing for 2 is great. I think villains are one of a couple different character types that are sort of on the verge of being potentially super overpowered. You never know. It's just gonna take 1 or 2 of these cards, and all of a sudden, boom. I've seen Brad with his broom deck. It just creeps up on you. And then Deity is a much lesser common one, but again, in the future, we could see those character types help boost this card to become much, much more valuable.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think probably the biggest problem for this card finding a spot in the meta is how expensive it is, right? I think that ends up probably being the
unless you're playing
typical
Blurple.
Downside. But
Blurple's I'll play this on turn 3. What about it? What about it?
Unfortunately, with Blurple though, you can't do the shift, Bloodborne shift, which is the most intriguing thing to me about the card. Because if I wanted to play that same kind of power on 6, I'm gonna lean towards Scar. I know it's uninkable, because he also quests for 2. But I do like the rush effect of surprising somebody with a 7 hit on a turn, right? So
this Takal survives Zeus though as well. This is a beefy,
that's true.
Yeah, but we're starting to see these cards in the meta too, particularly in everybody's favorite deck, Ruby Sapphire, that are reducing the amount of strength on a character to bring things back into potentially brawlable targets, potentially
Don't
you
even
know,
talk to me about that new coil they got.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
Well, as it's been said, we get coils. Where's our spheres?
Yeah, where's
Yeah.
the remaining spheres? We're missing a few.
I know
And you know
somebody on
what?
our team who really wants that blue sphere to come out.
We know it exists. We know the sphere exists because it's in the hideaway card.
Mhm.
They're like dropping all those
Yeah.
spheres out of their bags.
They got more than one
Yep.
too.
Well, they
Um,
lost it clearly, so like, who knows how long until they find
There's-
it and we see
Word
it.
is they're
Well,
still looking for it.
They
I
have
know.
one in the bag still.
Yeah, they
One
still
is
got
still in
one
the
in the
bag.
bag.
One fell out. So the spheres exist. But I actually like Jimmy here has a comment in our chat that poor Kana always wants some big questers and challengers.
Budget Kana.
Yeah. So yeah. Anything else we want to discuss along the lines of this card?
I'm excited to see how she fits in.
Yeah.
I'm excited for Max having a card in the game. Maybe there's more that not everything's been revealed yet. So I'm hoping that we get to see a lot more of his art in the game. And yeah, I'm really interested to see if I can get that shift combo to work on turns 6 and 7. That's what's really most interesting to me about it, aside from the art and everything. So
I'm super excited that Max got a card in here. I just will say that if they adopt the same pay to play that Marvel Snap does with Lorcana, I'm going to riot.
Hey.
that's a whole nother conversation. Don't get me started. Don't get me started.
Oh my.
All right. Well, before we move on to our next card, do we have any questions in the chat?
Yeah, we
Let's
should
take
have
a
brought this
look.
up at the beginning that if you guys have any questions for us, we'd love to do like a little bit of Q&A, a little bit of live constituents corner since Brad wasn't here. He needs to get his fix in for
or
answering
any
these
thoughts you have on the
questions.
card revealed. More than happy to address those. We're happy that you're here. 78 people watching right now. Thank you so much for tuning in. But yeah, any questions you have for us about the card, about the game, let us know, as we'll be happy to answer those for you. I think we had a couple from the mailbag though.
And as a classic, content creator, make sure you like and subscribe and hit that bell icon to be notified of future episodes. You'll be hearing that a lot throughout the rest of this. But we do have quite a few reveals. So while we get ready for our next reveal, I'm going to go ahead and ask Brad a question here about his experience. Like, what was your most favorite thing you did in Disney on your trip?
Oh God. Well, there's a lot of things, and that's going to take a whole episode. I figured we'll go wide on the Disney trip in this week's episode on Wednesday. But what the Tiana ride is, I immediately told you guys is goated. It is from start to finish so enjoyable. The music is like you're just sitting there bobbing, having a great time on that ride. So we rode that at 8 o'clock at night on the first night. So we got to see the fireworks as we were coming down. Like, it was absolutely amazing. Somebody in the shop at All Star Movies recognized, I was wearing the jersey out to Disney Springs our first night, recognized us. Recognized the jersey. He goes, "Is that a Lorcana team jersey?" And I go, "Yeah, this is my podcast." He goes, "You guys gave me a sticker in Seattle." And I'm down in Orlando. And I'm like, this is crazy.
That's
wild. Thank you for remembering the sticker, the logo, and everything. Made me feel really, really good. Just that, Lorcana is a big presence down there, right? And I asked them when Worlds was. They didn't know, of course, but they're ready for it.
Yeah. But wait, what's this? What happened to Villainy Andy? Oh my gosh.
No.
Oh no. Wait. Does this have something to do with our next card?
Nobody knows who or what he really is or what he's planning.
Yep. So, Andy. Yeah, it is Andy.
Oh my God, it is Andy.
What?
Suffocating.
We saw that coming.
That's so hot.
John from our team, John Coaster asked in the chat, who is that? Do you want to tell him who that is, Andy?
I am the Phantom Blot. Shadowy figure.
Man got it right here.
Someone got it right. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Somebody guess it. Let's
That's great.
go.
The Phantom Blot. Shadowy figure. A 2-cost uninkable 3/1 with Rush. quest for one. And as Kirsten said, nobody knows who or what he really is or what he's planning. And the art is by Luca Pinelli.
Yep, his 5th card in the game, I believe.
Yes.
It was 4 going into our reveal, but then another one got revealed this set. It's blanking of it off the top of my head. I had it earlier.
Cusco,
Now you gotta
temporary
keep
whale.
that
Yes,
on.
the whale that Breezy
Yeah.
revealed. The whale. Yep.
But he's done cards like Prince Naveen, the common card in this current set, and Magical 8-inch Shimmering Skies, Verana in the Fanged Chief in Rise of the Floodborn, and Slightly Lost Boy in Into the Inklands.
Yep.
Very nice.
He put it back on.
Can you guys hear me?
Well, I wanted to rush through it because I will just say behind.
Did you say rush?
He does have rush.
Yes, rush. Yeah.
He does, but I was going to say we wanted to rush through this because Andy was saying beforehand when he was testing this out that the costume's a little suffocating.
Odd.
Yes, it's just like a black hoodie backwards.
Yeah.
So I can't.
I bought a whole
see
Snuggie
or
for it,
breathe
but I didn't have a
or-
headpiece. 'Cause it was going to be me in the costume, but then I went off to Disney for a week and never got around to getting it. So
It's okay. It actually worked out perfect because that like Snuggie thing was a gift from my mom, and I think she's watching. Hi, Mom.
Aw.
What is this from though? The Phantom Lot.
So I had to look it up.
Mickey Mouse.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, I think
It's
Matt
one of his, like,
actually
arch
answered it
nemesises.
in the chat already
Yeah.
too. So I can just read what Impish Matt said. Originally from an old Mickey Mouse comic book, he's been on the 2017 DuckTales, but was also in the video game Epic Mickey.
Correct. Yeah,
Yeah.
he's like a big villain. And it's what I know this is like a clone of, I think, a Stitch Rocketeer. I remember the Stitch Rush from a couple sets ago. But what I love the most about this card is that the deep cut of, I had to look this up and just to see that the developers and the designers at Ravensburger are taking these lesser known characters and having fun with it, making me get educated on some of the history of Disney. And when this was shown to us, I'm like, I don't know what that is. I'm gonna have to go educate myself on it. And it's just brightened my day to have a card like this.
Yeah. At the same
Definitely really
time,
fun.
maybe be careful about that because Annie and Kirsten just watched Treasure Planet and had
Atlantis.
Atlantis, and had the
yeah.
film ruined.
Spoiled.
Well, it
Bye.
wasn't really ruined, but
Well,
I mean,
spoiler
it's an
alert
old
for
enough
anyone who hasn't
movie.
seen it. But you
Yeah.
started
I
off,
was
and
good-
Lyle and Helga are both good guys, and we're like, well,
I
wait a
was
minute,
gonna say though,
their cards
you
are villains.
if you couldn't see that they were villains from the get-go,
I
I
mean,
mean, it was pretty obvious either
Yeah.
way, but like
Yeah.
just knowing that they were a villain card in the game was like,
Yeah.
well, I know they're not gonna be good guys. Like, red alert, red flag,
Yeah.
red flag.
listen, I am of the belief that it's like, look, I love Disney, but man, do they do a really good job of just like arrow, villain here, villain. Like from the get-go, you're like, that person's not good. Pixar does this too. Like when we get Lotso, that bear was too friendly to start with. All right. I'm just saying.
okay, listen.
Like-
If we get a Lotso card, it has to smell like strawberries, right? You have to be able
Oh,
to
it's got
scratch,
to.
Scratch and
scratch
sniff.
and sniff. Yes. Okay.
Um,
So this
they can
Phantom
make that
Lot
work.
though card, I want to talk about this. I know we said it's the same as the Rocket Stitch, and I am a big Stitch fan, but there's potentially room for 8 of these cards if you really want to get spicy with it. But so we saw the Mushu card, the Mushu Ruby Steel card. I think is a card that makes something like this really great. It goes into something like piglets or anything with 2 strength into it. I mean, it trades with the Calhoun, but basically it having rush, I think will potentially give it some decent value in the potential upcoming meta, which could be a lot of board-based combat, So
Yeah. I
Definitely.
also just keep in mind too, it has different classifications. So the Stitch Little Rocket was Dreamborn Hero Alien, and this is a story-born villain. So as we get more cards that make a difference, we haven't had any cards, I don't think, that make any difference about whether it's storyborn or Dreamborn. We do have cards that reference Floodborn, though. So it is potential that happens. The other thing, though, is I really do think this card is more meant for the limited formats, right? It is just really trying to enter. Like, this is, I think, a great card in a limited format.
Very
to have a 3/1 body, to be able to have some removal.
Absolutely.
So, yeah, that's one of the things. And a lot of TCGs have that, where like cards are very similar cards are reprinted to help benefit the limited format of the game and keep that format of the game just as healthy as the rest of the meta.
And like you said, they're not identical, so there's like slight differences here. If you wanted the villain or the alien from the Stitch, and I think it looks like Kelvin Trading in the chat says the Hercules 3-cost Uninkable Rush has a 3/3 stats in Ruby. So I think, in limited format, that just like you were saying, Vince, it goes to show that this is, I think, fairly decently statted for a limited format. You're getting 2-cost, 3 strength, basically able to take out any 1 through 4 cost card on the board. Trades very positively. So if you do see this one, it is an uncommon. Our last one was a common. This one is an uncommon. So you might have to draft it a little sooner. I don't exactly know where I'd want to draft it, but definitely would be a good one to grab in a sealed event for sure.
Yeah, it's hard to know with since we don't have the full pool of cards yet to know exactly when, I would say, but it is a good point to point out that this is in the uncommon slot. And I'm not really sure, was the Stitch a common or an uncommon from?
Good question.
I don't remember actually.
But
looking
the Stitch was a playmat, so
he was
Phantom
common.
Blot playmat coming soon, maybe. Who knows?
That'd be cool.
That'd be awesome.
Listen,
Really
I
cool
just
art.
I want more cats. Okay, what can I say?
Everybody wants more cats.
Everybody does. Everybody wants
to be a cat.
We need Figaro, and that's true as well. Yeah.
But yeah, I have to just again go back to Brad's comment, though, that I love all these like deep cut cards coming into the game, and it's just so great to see that, and I hope to see more of it in the future, and I think we're going to see more of it too, because set 9 Fabled.
Oh yeah, it's a good thought.
You mean the board game that's coming out around the time of set 9?
I'm just saying, Andy's
doing this again.
Andy better start putting those packs aside in our not bet, our just arrangement of who is correct in this.
Right.
Regardless, we're all going to be spoiled when it comes out because the art we already know is going to be great in it. But
obviously,
yeah, when I saw this card, having to look it up, I was really excited about it. The first thing I thought of was our local Chip, local listener as well. He's database in his mind of these Disney characters, and I'm like, if I didn't have the internet to look it up, he would tell me all about it next time I see him at Grapes. So just a quick shout out to him because I'm sure he probably loves that card as well.
Yeah, I like this. We got Nicholas Gomez in the chat. Greetings from Chile, guys. We are waiting for official distribution in South America.
Oh my gosh,
that's amazing.
Welcome. Thank you
for joining us. Yes,
I can't wait. I really do hope they soon announce. I don't think they've announced officially printing Lorcana in Spanish. I know we did have the Gateway printed in Spanish, and I think it was released potentially in Mexico. I'm not 100% sure, maybe in Spain, but I know that was printed. It's the only that I know of that's been printed in Spanish. And as a collector of foreign language cards, I would love to get some
Senor Pipo
Spanish cards. Senor Pipo.
We got to get all the foreign language people.
What do they call Goofy in Chile?
I don't know.
We'll have to figure that out. That's our homework for the next episode.
There you go.
But yeah,
Yeah.
because I'm loving opening up the Japanese packs. There's a store here that is selling them off the shelf, which I love, which is great. So finding places that you can get the Japanese cards, such great quality. But yeah, anything else anybody wants to say on this card before we answer some questions?
I did love the art.
What is he doing on Archazia
Running.
Island? Do you think he's like there
Well, that's a good
to
question.
like steal the,
Nobody
the
knows.
puppies?
Nobody knows who or what
Nobody
he really is or what he's planning.
All right, I walked into that. But like,
Who are we to ask?
Lore-wise, right?
I
Like,
think we'll
does he
find
think
out.
he's on Jafar's team, maybe trying to help?
Probably.
Okay.
No.
I would say as a villain.
I think
He's doing villainous things.
He's definitely doing villainous things, but I think he's laying the groundwork for things to come beyond
Phantom Blot,
Ring
new
of
big
Jafar.
bad. You heard it here first.
Next set champ character. There we go.
Phantom
Well, the
Blot.
next champ character is going to be a hero, right?
Yeah.
Not necessarily.
Well, I mean, the
That
assumption
seems
is
to be the
hero,
pattern, but
right?
we don't know.
I mean, it seems to be because like it's pretty clear. It's pretty clear. Jafar is going to be our big bad. in Ring
Yeah,
of
oh, for
Jafar.
sure, for
Like,
sure.
Right? Like you're
maybe
not going to be like, no, maybe not.
I want to see the
Aladdin,
Phantom Blot wearing the
Aladdin.
Hexwell crown.
Yeah.
That's my goal, and then Scar, or maybe Scar first. So, I'm biased. All right. Do we have any questions from the chat? I don't know. Let me grab one from the mailbag, unless you see one in the
There is
chat.
one question. Logan Miller asked, do you have any idea what IP or franchise group he would go with? I like to mark those for all the cards on my spreadsheet, and I have no idea what to call this one. I think it would be just like a
Mickey
generic,
and
like
Friends?
Mickey and Friends.
Mickey and Friends.
Yeah,
Yep.
Mickey
Yeah.
and Friends, I think is where I would put it.
Or maybe Mickey and Not So Friends, but yeah,
Right.
absolutely.
Right.
But
Well,
it comes
Pete-
from that like genre.
Pete's
of
in
things,
Mickey
I
and
mean.
Friends, right? Even though Pete's
yeah,
not
yeah.
really Mickey's
Yeah, I
friend.
think so. And same with like Clarabelle. I think she would be in that
Well, she's
category
probably more
also.
Yeah.
friendly with Mickey, unlike Pete, right? He's our arch
I'm just
rival.
saying, same franchise IP.
Yeah.
There.
Uh,
We'll
apparently
do, a,
more
we'll do a Mickey
questions
and
if
Friends
there's
lore
more.
breakdown video on our Patreon. Just kidding.
One day that'll be true. One
Just
day.
kidding.
There be a Patreon. Excuse me. Sorry. Don't know where that came from.
Yeah.
got hit
What's
with a little-
that?
I don't know. What was
Sure.
that? All right.
I don't know.
Anyway.
Dude, did you find a question in the mailbag, sir?
Sure. Let me take a look in the mailbag.
What is going on?
What card hasn't been revealed that you need revealed? You
Well, I
guys
think
have
we
any?
all know the answer to that for you.
That's why I asked it. Everybody knows what card I need.
Mine
just-
has been revealed because I was waiting for the East My Cat card. Now
me
I'm just
too.
waiting for the franchise of Oliver and Company.
Yeah, I still need Oliver and Company.
Yeah. Well, to be clear though, Kirsten's actually waiting for an enchanted version of Maleficent Monstrous Dragon.
That's a very specific.
That's the next set
request.
champs card, though. Next villain.
Oh, remind the viewers though, for new, we've got 88 folks watching live right now. Brad, what is the card you want most?
I need the Scottish Terrier Jock from Lady and the Tramp. If you can see in my background, I have a large cardboard cutout of my dog at Busch Stadium during the COVID times. I just revealed I have a Scottish Terrier. This is my most anticipated card in this deck, or in this set. It will be the most anticipated card in my deck because he will be in it. And I will have 60 of them and play illegally if I have to because I don't care. I need that card. I've been making little joke shorts about it. I haven't released one of them yet. Or I did privately of the big TV on
The
All-Star
resort?
Movies, where I was asking, where is Jock? I've been dropping in the different Discords asking about it. Somebody's got it, I know for sure. Or I don't know for sure, but he's got to be in there. They released Trusty today. So I didn't want to rant about it too much because I know he's coming. He has to. He's already on 2 cards. But yeah, Jock. Give me Jock, please. Foils.
Yeah.
I want all the foils.
Mine was revealed in this set, which was O'Malley.
Mm,
Yeah.
yeah.
So
The
I was
Alex
I want more cards, please. Like And like, frankly, I kind of want like actual playable cards and meta decks, please. I really want more Aristocats. But I think, it goes without saying, the card that I really, really want in this game now that I've gotten the one is Remy.
Remy.
Oh, well, yeah, he's
you have to wait
coming.
for
Of course.
Pixar though.
Yeah, we'll have to wait for Pixar.
Heather in chat
although-
says Miko from Pocahontas. That would be a good one. Although I think
He'll come out.
Logan
Also
says that
coming.
Pocahontas
That's
was
also coming.
26. Yeah.
I
feel
think he
those
was left
pets
out
were
of this
missing, though.
specifically.
I feel like
What's
those
that?
pets, those pets were missing. I feel like.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah, there's a lot of pets.
There's
Figaro.
there's the geese
Mm,
from Aristocats.
Yeah.
Geese.
The
That's
two
a deep
geese.
cut.
That's not that deep of a cut.
What about the vultures?
Listen, that
from
audio is on TikTok
Jungle
all
Book?
the time.
Hmm.
What's that about Jungle Book?
The vultures at the beginning of Jungle Book, right?
I don't know. I haven't seen Jungle Book in
It's been a long
forever.
time. Yeah.
Well, didn't you have to watch it on your Disney
Disney
date
night?
night?
Yeah. But I still don't remember the vultures. I'm sorry. I focus too much on making the food and making it all pretty and everything. So
Yeah. Well,
sometimes the movies is just like by the time I'm done making it all and eating it, then I'm watching the movie and I'm like, I could take a nap. And sometimes I kind of doze off a little bit. Not because the movie's bad. I'm just tired. It's 9:00 on a Friday, or sometimes most of the time we do them on Tuesdays, and it's like long day.
what's the next up? Where are you at?
I told you asked me a couple weeks ago, and it was supposed to be Rescuers Down Under. It still is because we haven't done it yet. We've just been busy.
You
guys had to go to Disney.
Yeah.
That is fair. And
had
I
like a
am
week-long
still
Disney
seething
date
with
night.
jealousy.
Yeah, that's what I asked her last night as we were leaving Magic Kingdom. I was like, "How was your Disney date week?" So, but we'll have more on that in next week's episode. I think at this time we should, if you guys are done talking about what cards you are happy to see, move on to our last one. What do you guys think?
I think so, but yeah, let's do it.
Ready?
All right. Yep. Let's hit it for the big potato captain. We have John Silver, Vengeful Pirate. He is an 8-cost inkable Emerald Steel dual color card. 6 strength, 4 willpower. Drawn to a fight. If an opposing character was damaged this turn, you pay 2 ink less to play this character. Resist +1. Damage dealt to this character is reduced by 1. And I ain't gone soft. Whenever you play an action that isn't a song, you may deal 1 damage to chosen character. Quest for 2 lore. Art by Nicholas Kole.
Oh my God, we got an artwork by Nicholas Kole.
I know.
Which, by the way, incidentally, totally by coincidence, is the artist of all 4 of our favorite cards.
Yep.
That's true. My Scar. Your Brave Little Tailor.
My Brave Little
Tailor. Maleficent
Hers
Dragon wasn't
Maleficent
Kole.
Dragon. Was it?
But did he do Kole? I don't think he did that. I thought that was Luis Huerta.
It was Luis Huerta.
Yeah.
Well, it's the 3 of us because I like the Rockstar Stitch Enchanted.
Yeah.
She's the odd one out.
Being different.
Yeah. That was
Luis Huerta does great work. All the artists do great work.
But this card is
let's talk about this one.
Work from Nicholas Kole for sure.
Yeah, I'm super excited about it. I've been saying, so I've known we've had this card for a couple weeks, and then I've been seeing the pirates coming out, and I have an Emerald Steel pirate deck, just a fun deck kind of built, but I feel like it's just getting better and better with the new Smee that came out. I forget what exactly he does. I have it written down here. When you play a non-song, ready a pirate character, and then I think the recursions of the fire the cannons. There's all kinds of steel actions that aren't songs, like fire the cannons, twin fire, ba-boom. Dare I say Triton's Decree, and Smash. There's all kinds of...
Don't you even dare.
I will just say this. If anybody out there meets the mayor, he will gladly autograph a copy of the Triton's Decree for him. He may say his favorite card is the Scar, but it's truly the mayor's decree or Triton's Decree.
Yeah, that's not true. I mean, I will sign it because they've made it a whole thing about it. That was a card that was kind of an answer to Bucky and Diablo for a little bit, if I could, if it worked out well enough. And B, it became such a meme to you guys that we have a local here, Craig, who loves to play it against me now too. And it always messes my day up because I don't expect it. A 1 cost, I have to put 2 damage on my own character. I can't stand that you guys did that to me. But I'm just kidding. But no, this potato captain is beefy, and I feel like I forgot to do the classification: storyborn, villain, alien, pirate, and captain. So he's got all the good stuff. Yeah, and he's cheaper. You can play him on 6 with damage on board, or with doing damage. So what do you guys think? Do you fit him into anything besides a pirate deck, or any Emerald Steel players here have any thoughts on it?
Well, one thing I will just say is that he is definitely done cooking potatoes.
Yeah.
He ate his potatoes and he is on a rampage. I have to say, I think probably the thing I'm most excited about with this card is whenever you play an action that isn't a song, you may deal 1 damage to chosen character. And so, this could have some really interesting implications and some, action decks that aren't running songs, or and I don't know. I think probably the limitation here, though, to answer your question about the pirate deck, is probably that it's only going to be played in an Emerald Steel.
Well, it has to be.
Yeah,
Right.
you have to.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So I think it's a really cool card, but I do think it might need a little help to become a staple potentially in the meta. The fact that if an opposing character was damaged this turn, we pay 2 less. I feel like that's a pretty easy condition to be made. It'd be great if it was like each time an opposing character is damaged.
That was one of the comments in the chat. Heather asked, wishing that it's stacked.
Yeah, if it's stacked, that'd be even better. But still, 6 cost for a 6/4 that quests for 2 with resist 1 and this other ability is pretty nice. I think we already see a few actions that aren't songs in at least the current iteration of Emerald Steel in cards like the snake, discard snake, hypnotize. And potentially we could see even more. I think there is a couple like cantripping actions that you could see, and like you said, the steel actions are great. It is unfortunate it dies to something like a Zeus still. But it is, I don't know. I want to say it's definitely good and limited, but I mean, I'm putting it in my deck in the sealed to try it out.
Yeah. And I'll have to see what kind of actions and stuff. I haven't reviewed all the new cards yet. I'm still playing catch up on all those, as much as Vince might not believe me. For the limited format, because 8 cost is heavy, but I feel like with every set they've introduced at least some kind of damage card, right, for removal for those specific events. So there's got to be something in there that will trigger that to get them out a little bit easier. But yeah,
Jimmy in chat dies to Medusa and 3 ice blocks.
Yeah, never mind. Sorry. We'll,
terrible card. I actually
we'll tell
think
Ravensburger not to release this card, guys, because
it was in the chat here. It was in the chat here somewhere that I think probably the hardest thing is getting that much ink in to
Emerald
play this
Steel.
card in Emerald Steel. I think that's actually the harder part of this.
Ramp hey.
But we also had that review, or that reveal today. I wish I could remember off the top of my head who revealed it. The Hercules play a card for free card.
Let me look. I might have.
Yeah, you absolutely had the source for it.
Yeah, that's
Card Market.
Card Market. Five.
Yeah,
I think
so you can technically play him on 5. So that's a turn sooner than he would come out, and yeah, and you could even sing it and still use your ink. Because is it a song or is it just an action?
It's just an action.
Just an action. Okay, never mind on that. But still, a little bit of value there in that regard.
Yeah, I think it's 2 limitations in my mind that are going to make it hard to fit into a deck. Is it's how expensive it is, but then I think you both rightfully point out, there are options to kind of cheat it out a little bit earlier.
Hades.
But then, what's up?
Hades, the new
Yeah.
Mickey Mouse, the Mickey Mouse.
The other thing I think is are there enough actions that aren't songs that you would want to play in a deck? Yes, you're right. There are a lot, but which of them?
Yeah. Jimmy brings up a good point, though. Just an action can be a positive thing, right? Because look, you got something like Ursula that rips songs out of your hand.
Yeah.
So, and other cards. I think there's new cards that say you like can't sing songs or whatever.
Yep.
You can't play songs or
a few of them.
stuff.
Yeah, Yantu's one of them.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
So this might be the set where we see more actions that aren't songs.
Yeah.
But I guess I'm just thinking,
people
like,
remember
the
Pete
ones,
exists, but
the ones that yeah, that's right.
no actions.
Oh,
Well, the ones that I'm thinking are like you've got Fire the Cannons, you've got
Smash, Boom,
Boom,
Twin Fire.
Smash, yeah.
You got the Twin Fire now. Brad said it. His
Triton's
favorite
Decree.
card, Triton's Decree.
Along came Zeus.
situation.
Unfortunate situation.
Big Triton's Decree.
But
AKA
Along Came
which
Zeus
is
Along Came Zeus is a song.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's why I have it on my. I was going down my list. The other cards I put down when I was thinking about this card as well, just the kind of damage that can come out is like Big Tink with that flood damage. You wouldn't be able to play him on the same turn, but there seems to be a lot of stuff, especially with the SME, where you can ready pirate characters and stuff. There's no restrictions in when you're readying that pirate after the damage is done with SME. So there's the SME shift from last set. You deal damage to equal the number of pirates in play, and I think that Hook did. I think Andy likes. You were playing that Captain Hook from the last set for a while, right? Where when he's challenged, you can draw a card, or when he's exerted, pirates can't quest.
Yeah, that's not a bad card. It was 1/4 2-quester.
I do think though this card is its one benefit is its resist +1 gives it a decent chance of sticking around on the board or forcing your opponent to, with the exception of things like Zeus, or other damage
Quadruple grab sword
actions. Yeah. But you're committing. The thing is you're gonna have to commit a lot of resources to remove this card off the board. Like you can't just run a Medusa into this. Medusa's 4/4. It's only gonna do 3 damage to this card. Yeah, Maui will work.
Yeah, I do think, like we said before, one of the other things that might end up benefiting this card quite a bit is all of its characterizations, if you will. Sure. Storyborn hasn't meant anything yet, but villain, alien, pirate, captain, you got a Wendy darling, you need a pirate, check. You got a Moana, you need a captain, check. Smee, captain, check. Oh, you got that location you got the Galactic Council Chamber, you need an alien, check. Like it ticks all the boxes for a lot of things. Granted, at least two of those cards are not playable with this John Silver, but hey, we're gonna learn how Duel Inks work together on this journey.
And I think, this might be good news for Vince as a big proprietor of Resist. We saw that Rhea card come out today or yesterday, maybe. That was it's a steel card that whenever you ink something, you can add +1 resist. And I think if I recall correctly, over skimming the cards over the last several days, there's been a lot of cards that have something to do with giving resist to people. Hasn't there? Or is that ringing a bell, or am I just talking silly?
Listen, I am not going to die on the resist hill.
Brad's trying to goat Vince into another resist is so hot right now.
As your right see.
I don't think it's a bad thing. Like it's certainly, you might have oversold it a couple sets ago, but it has its place. And I oversold it. And like you said, he starts with 1, and we know that the Rhea can give him an additional 1. She comes out on 3, and every turn you ink, you can add resist to somebody. But I don't know. I felt like I saw more cards with granting resist, and that I don't know them off the top of my head yet. The set's not out yet. It's gonna take forever for me to memorize the set anyway. So That was just a thought I had that maybe, that even more resist is going to keep him around for a while because
Going to take you long to remember this. Annie and I have to figure these out before we stream again because we're like, do you know what that card does? I don't know what that card does. Look up what that card does.
Yeah, Ravensburger is printing a lot of good playable cards here, this set. I think thematically as well, like the art, like this looks like a, emerald steel card. It's got that, he's got the emerald coat jacket and in the emerald forest there with his sort of steel robot arm and sword attachment, sword hand attachment. Vengeful pirate. I wonder who he's venging, getting vengeance.
That's a good question.
Is this
maybe
again?
Phantom Blot?
Is he much like the Phantom Blot, just a
I know who it is.
Minion to Jafar, or is
whoever
everyone...
took his potatoes?
Ooh.
Well,
he's fed on potatoes.
One thing to point out though is, so it looks like he's like slashing through these forest trees. If you look at the trees, they have a very similar look to the trees in the Phantom Blot.
Yeah, Jimmy just pointed that out
forest.
too. They look like the same forest. I completely agree.
And those trees also look like they're alive, so it's probably not very nice.
Oh yeah, they had eyes.
Yeah, slicing through them. But I wonder, so like, are they like, he's actually, I might be, pointing out that I don't know this movie and I haven't seen it before. Is eyes normally red and glowing like that, John Silver?
I haven't seen it since theaters. Honestly,
okay, so
I can't wait to get to it in our date nights because I have some catching up to do.
Well, we can watch that while we eat dinner after this. How about that?
Either his
one
glowing
film
eyes,
I have not watched.
He's like hypnotized by Jafar, right? Or
could be.
That's what I was thinking.
What if the crown was like? What if these guys aren't all helping Jafar so much as they're all racing against Jafar to try and get to the crown? Like, John Silver knows it's there. The Phantom Blot knows that it's there. They're all vying for the same crown, and it just so happens that Jafar is the one who gets to it first.
Oh yeah,
could be.
We know,
I think that's
we know Jafar is going to get
right.
to
We
it,
know that Jafar is going to get to it.
We get the rain, but yeah, one thing I think you pointed out there that I really like is if you watched the main stage on Disney Lorcana last Monday, they talked about the design elements of these ink colors and like the different design elements between each of the inks, and it's just really great to kind of see that combined here in cards like this.
Yeah. We got Kelvin in the chat talking about him. He said he's looking for the map after Jim Hawkins dropped them from the ship. Yes, his eyes have a laser vision and he can use it to zoom in, etc., like a scope, and do all kinds of like techie things with it. So that makes sense that that's all lit up like that. So thank you, Kelvin, for keeping us honest here.
So
the
question still then remains: is he working with Jafar or for Jafar, or is he
himself?
Working for himself? Trying to
for himself. For himself. No, these villains don't collaborate. They don't have.
We do.
That's true.
Okay, well, you just broke Vince there. All right.
He just stopped.
No, I'm just saying. I don't know that we do. People don't hear the behind the scenes of this podcast.
Oh my goodness!
The hour before this episode was so stressful.
So chaotic. You would have thought we didn't know what we were doing because we didn't know what we were doing. Joke's on y'all.
I think it's a good opportunity to thank everybody who tuned in. We had somewhere at the last time the highest I saw was in the 80s people watching concurrently. I think 87 maybe. It's at 50 now. So thank you guys so much. It shows us that when we do these live streams, especially when we have something as cool as reveals, which we're especially thankful for hanging out with us for this little mini episode that we're doing. It's such a privilege and an honor to be able to have something like this, to have you guys tune in and hang out with us for an hour and have this podcast for 33 weeks now, right? Like it's absolutely insane, and I'll be eternally grateful for it.
Yeah, and obviously thank you so much to Ravensburger for giving us the opportunity to reveal these cards in general, and obviously sharing the great Disney Lorcana game with us and all of the community. We wouldn't be here without the game, obviously, because we wouldn't know each other.
We wouldn't, yeah.
We wouldn't. We've told that story a bunch, and honestly,
Yeah.
really, again, we were excited. We were just hoping to get one card. I'm like so blessed to get
Absolutely.
3 reveals. And we hope
3
you
villains,
enjoyed them as much as we did. Yeah, 3, yeah, exactly, 3 villains. But you should stay tuned and find out those other creators that release some great cards. We'll be covering more of them in shorts or on the main episode. And find out more information by going to DisneyLorcana.com for the most up-to-date information about Archazia's Island. And again, there's the Disney main stage on Monday on the Disney Lorcana Discord.
Yeah.
Not really sure what time it starts.
And I
It's
think
at noon.
12
Pacific?
Central
Noon
time?
Central, I think.
Noon
I don't
Central,
know.
I think.
Yeah.
I don't know. Go find
The
the
information
Discord
will be on the
and-
Discord.
Exactly.
So we
But
have-
Archasia's Island also comes out in your local stores on March 7th, and then in big
Yes.
box stores on March 21st.
Yeah.
So
and it
we-
is the
Big
last time that you got a 2-week big box release, but before we go to pre-release with the Reign of Jafar.
Absolutely.
So we've got some people in the chat. Shout out Citizens of Lorcana. It says, as a native Idahoan, someone from Idaho,
Idahoan.
I approve of potato jokes. So he's on
Yes.
board. Additional ink.
additional ink.
Congrats
Yep.
on the reveal again, guys, and great job. And then we have
Mrs. Mayor.
Mrs. someone
Mayor.
a question for you, Brad, from Mrs. Mayor that says, "But where is Jacques?"
Where is he? Oh no! But you're gonna get me on a rampage.
Hold up.
Yeah,
He's got to come out. It's got to be tomorrow.
What cards do we need for Mrs. Mayor to play the game?
Figaro and Jock.
Okay, Figaro and
Yeah.
Jock. We don't have either of them yet.
Do we know if Mrs. Mayor is paying off anyone at Ravensburger to purposefully not release these cards so that she doesn't have to come play Lorcana with?
He's got a
with us
jersey now.
nerds?
She's kind of in it.
She wore the jersey last night too. Yeah, we got
Let's
pictures
go.
of us together in front of the castle. Yeah,
Let's
it was
go.
really
So
cute.
cute.
Yeah, it was her idea too. So
Oh, I love it.
love her for that. But
You get
yeah, I want to
recognized
give
in Disney World.
at that one time at All Star Movies, we
Yes.
didn't. Nobody said anything. Everybody, and it's just a joke for the podcast and people who probably thought it themselves. But 2 people yesterday asked if this was Spyro, but I had to explain that this is Ruby, the Amethyst Dragon, Spyro's distant cousin. But no, I want to give a shout out to Mattias and his coworker, who I forget his name. I'm so sorry. At the All Star Movies Resort on Tuesday, they recognized the jersey, and I told them I'd give him a shout out. And then Parker last night in the old Christmas shop in Liberty Square was super nice and helpful when we were picking up our engraved badges for getting engaged. And he was gonna say, he said he would check out the podcast as well, and he may be here tonight. I'm not certain, but if he is, there's your shout out. Thank you so much for your help and tuning in. Everybody, thank you for tuning in. It's been a blast and such a relief, to finally get this out there. Because like I said earlier, the hour leading up to this, I was stressing. I wanted it to be perfect, and we got it together like we always do. And I appreciate you guys and happy to share this moment with you.
And
Yeah.
oh my gosh, we look like we're almost right on time too. Holy crap.
Yep. Yeah.
I know. So let us know your thoughts on the new Archazia's Island. We hope you've enjoyed this live stream. If you're joining us on audio, when we get this out on audio, rate and review
Are we
us
putting
on
this
Apple
on audio?
Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you listen.
Wait, are we putting this on audio?
Yeah, of course we're putting it
Why
on.
would
Figure
we
it
put this
out
on
later.
audio?
Anyway, continue the outro. Just ignore him.
All right, if
Are
you're
we doing
listening
our
on
regular
audio, I
outro?
still love you. But I think this might just stay on YouTube. So we're
No,
glad
it's
you're
going on
here
Spotify.
on YouTube.
We'll
Be sure
clip
to
it.
like and subscribe. Remember, Kirsten will be playing Ruby Sapphire at a set championships. If we
I
can
said a
hit
whole
500
season.
subscribers, okay, the whole season then. We just got to hit 500 subscribers before the next set championships. I
Oh.
think that's far away, but it's not. It'll sneak up on us. So you, your friends, your coworkers, your auntie, go ahead, get them, subscribe, like.
Yeah. 500.
Let's see if I can.
I'll just add to say, we don't have a Patreon yet, but if you do want to support the villains and you're looking to fill out the rest of your cards from the rest of the sets and play sets, for the anticipation of Archazia's Island, where can you go? Where can they go, Andy? What can they do?
There is a link down in the description we have for TCG Player, which is everyone's favorite North American-based singles market online. Use our link. It is an affiliate code. It won't cost you anything, but it will give a little bit of the money to us, your favorite Lorcana podcast. Or you can also use it too if you happen to be cornering the market on legendary Gantu cards from first chapter. I may or may not know a few people who say that card is going to skyrocket to the moon. So while this is not financial advice in any way, shape, or form, if you did happen to buy all of them on TCG Player, you may or may not be able to buy a vacation home with it in the near future.
I'll just say I bought 2 Enchanteds this weekend.
Gantus?
Wow.
Where'd you get those?
Yeah,
those are
those
fake.
ones
Vince.
are-
I don't think those are.
But I did buy 2 Enchanteds.
Which ones?
Oh, you bought me
Two
the
more Elsas?
Elsa?
Two more
Thank you.
No, I bought the Arthur
Ooh, that's a good one.
and I bought
Shimmering Sky one.
I think Radigan's something location
Radigan.
Oh, yeah.
from
That
Shimmering
one.
Skies, right?
Okay.
Shimmering Skies, I think.
Very cool.
Nice.
Trying
Do I need
to
to-
slowly fill out my
Yeah.
Enchanted collection. But yes,
Yeah.
continue, Brad.
All right, I'm going to try to do it from memory because I don't have it up in front of me. So
None of us did.
we understand your time is important, so we appreciate you spending a little bit of it with us. That sounded terrible, but I do appreciate it. If you would like to continue following us, you can follow us on Instagram, Blue Sky, the platform formerly known as Twitter, and Facebook, all at Rules of Villainy. And we even have our own little Discord in which you can continue the conversation there. That was absolutely awful.
No, actually, I think it was great. Like
I
you
think it
almost
was
said
fine.
verbatim, actually, as I'm looking
Yeah.
at it.
I butchered it, and Andy had to cut it for the podcast.
But we will definitely be on Spotify if I have to drag Andy's audio over and put it in there. But until next week, stay safe, fellow villains. Or actually, I should say, until later this week, stay safe, fellow villains. Be wary of wannabe heroes who want to disrupt your villainous plans. And as always, remember the rules of villainy.